Hey guys, what's going on? It is Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale. Today we're going to talk about a new feature that might be coming to the game, or actually I should say that is coming to the game next update. We don't know much about it, but I do want to get into that. Before I do, Trainer Nick, guys, I'm going to share with you some Trainer Nick highlights from yesterday's Bren Chong Clash with Ash tournament. You guys may or may not know that we put out a 1,000 person tournament on Twitter every single day. You can get that information at clash_with_ash or at Bren Chong on Twitter. But anyway, Nick has just gotten better and better and better at this game. He plays a lot and he is really skilled, so enjoy this. He consistently is finishing top 3 or top 5 at least in these big 1,000 person tournaments. Now, I do have a lot of opinions on these tournaments and how and why I think that the Clash team really ought to make them really viable in the game again. I do think they're kind of being pushed aside by grand challenges, which are much more lucrative in terms of time invested and rewards given. But anyway, I'm not going to get into that today, even though I just kind of did. But today, what I really want to talk about, guys, is a post that not a lot of people have seen yet. It only has 500 views as of right now on the Supercell forums. Now, if you want to read the whole thing, even though I'm going to actually include all the text in today's video, you can go ahead and do so. I'll include the link, and this was by Locke, who is, just don't tell anybody else, but Locke is definitely my favorite forum moderator. I love that guy, and he does an amazing job at keeping the forum community kind of all together on the same page and providing as much access as he can inside both the Clash of Clans and the Clash Royale team, because that, hey, let's face it, can be quite a feat keeping in touch with both of the teams, and Locke does a great job of it. So, let's get to this actual Q&A that he posted. Oh, but first, one little side note, I actually asked for an audio interview with a Clash Royale developer myself. I wanted to ask some semi-hard-hitting questions about fair play, competitive play, win trading, all that good stuff, but they actually politely declined, and not because of the questions, but rather because they're much more comfortable doing these text-type interviews, at least for now, so I'll be sure to keep kind of pressing on that, but for now, let's go ahead and discuss what we actually have from them in terms of their text answers to the questions that Locke sent them. And we're going to start with the big one, the real big one that I am really excited about. And what I'm going to do is just flash the question on the screen here momentarily if you want to pause and read, but I don't want to take away from the gameplay. So let me just go ahead and get to the actual questions and, more importantly, the answers. So Locke asks, is there any plan to take clans to the next step? Thinking clan levels or perks, etc. And the Clash team said, yes, absolutely. We talked about this exact thing, meaning clan perks, yesterday as it happens. We're currently just in the talking stage though, and not actively developing any clan perk feature just yet. But clans are definitely on our radar for improvements. Now, this is the big part. However, we are working on something else for clans right now that should be coming with the next update. Hint, it's not Clan Wars. So, I was really excited about that. I mean, right now, I don't know about you guys, but clans are awesome to chat with, to friendly battle, to donate, but that's about it. There's really no more clan features, and I remember way back in beta, actually way before beta, before the game was even announced or launched, I had the opportunity to talk to the team lead, and I said, he asked for feedback, and I said, you know what? The one thing I would like to see is some sort of extra feature or element that kind of brings the clan together more, allows them to maybe enter into tournaments together. Anything like that would be amazing, and it looks like we are next update getting something extra to the clan system, and to me that's really super exciting. I do think we need that more unity kind of, involved in the clan structure. So really excited, especially for Elite Gaming, my clan, and all of Elite Nation. I know we're already so cohesive and we've become so tight in just, a little under a year now. So I'm really excited to see what that has in store for us. I hope you guys are too. Now let's go ahead and move on to to the other 4 questions. Again, I'll just quickly flash them on the screen, and then I'll go ahead and read the question and answer afterwards, so you can enjoy Trainer Nick's gameplay here. He's playing an interesting Hog Lightning deck that he's a really big fan of. So, Sparky rework. Is a Sparky rework a possibility right now? Interesting question, and the team says it's certainly a possibility, but it's not something we're looking into right now. Sparky is tricky, as some people say she's OP, I didn't even know it was a female, while others call for a buff. She's quite divisive, but thanks for bringing this up. We'll have a chat about Sparky soon. So, mind blown that Sparky was a girl or a woman, I guess. I don't know. How do you tell? Do you go under the hood? Whatever. Never mind. Anyway, let's go on to question 3 before I get myself in trouble here. All right, sorry. Still cracking up from that last question. Oh my god. Okay, so what is your approach to the community's balancing suggestions and dislike for the meta? The answer. We have use rate and win rate stats which give us concrete information about what cards are being used in each arena and how well they're doing. We generally go there first to see what's going on and be on the table for the next round of balance changes. But when it comes to how we're going to balance those cards, the community is a fantastic source of inspiration that we frequently draw upon. The dislike for the meta point is an interesting one, and it ties into the question below, so read on for more of this. So we'll get to that in just a second. One thing I will add that I kind of noticed in this answer is that they say they have balancing information for every arena. I do wonder, and I certainly hope that they also have balancing information for just tournament standards, because I think that is probably the most important type of balancing that we need when examining the meta, especially from a competitive aspect. But anyway, let's go ahead and move on and talk a little bit more about the meta in the 4th question that Locke asked them, and that was, do you ever plan to break the trend of there even being a meta? And they say, well, that isn't something we can break because the meta is created by the players, aka you guys. Think of it as a game within the game or a game outside the game. Either way, as long as there are players playing, there will be a meta created by them. Again, you guys. People will naturally try to find the strongest decks and either play them or try to play against them. That's the meta. Our goal is to try to find the underused or overused cards and rebalance them and keep things fun, fresh, and help the meta evolve. We're also adding new cards quite frequently in special challenge events, which will both help to shape and change the meta. I actually really like this answer. I'm actually probably in the minority here just based on comments, but I like the fact that the meta is frequently changing. That way, just when you're starting to get sick of the current meta, they do a balance update, they add some new cards, and everything changes, and I like that actually personally. It keeps the game fresh for me. I wish Clash of Clans would do something like that more often. I like how Royale seems to do it every 3 weeks or so. Anyway, question 5. How many times, days, in games do you test a card before it officially launches? Interesting question. It totally depends on the card, they say. We don't have a set amount of testing required for a card to be considered finished. When they're ready, they're ready. But we can say that the whole team plays every day in the live build and on our dev build. We often have a 3 p.m. playtest session where we all spin our chairs around, face the middle of the team space, and play the cards and the game's modes together. That sounds like a really fun job, no guys? Each new card gets played until we feel like it's in a good place, and many cards get discarded, forgive the pun, along the way due to not working well enough or feeling quite right. Some cards just feel right quicker than others. So that was their official answer, and just to piggyback on that, because I think this is really interesting actually, is in their actual office, it's kind of like an open space that they work together, and on one side of the office they have this big whiteboard type thing, and what they do is they have post-it notes, like sticky notes, and they have every single card rarity, and then they have just tons of new card ideas under each rarity. Just to kind of take it back to my last visit, I remember they had things like the Guards and Lava Hound. These were not introduced into the game yet. They had much more stuff than that we still haven't seen in the game, but it's just interesting, and it goes to show that they have a lot of new cards ideas that they want to bring to the game eventually. I actually asked them personally or privately once, and I think I should be able to tell the answer. I asked, do you have a limit to the number of cards that you want to add to the game, or even a threshold that you think that, this would be a good number? And the team member that I spoke to said, no, we don't. We want to keep adding new and fresh cards to the game, and I actually kind of liked that. So who knows how many cards this game will have in just another year from now. We could be looking at, hundreds and hundreds of cards. We'll just have to wait and see, but I will say this. Their game designer, the guy who's primarily in charge of balancing cards and kind of introducing new card ideas, his name is Stefu, and he is absolutely a brainiac. He's really like a game theorist, and I talked to him I got the privilege to talk to him for quite a while on one of my visits, and it's really cool. Like, you can talk to this guy about breaking down a board game. He's a real board game fanatic, and I guess it kind of goes hand in hand, but he can really get into the meta of any game and really quickly assess how that game ticks. So rest assured, we are in good hands in terms of one of the main faces behind the team in regards to in regards to card balancing. So guys, that is going to do it for today's little mini Q&A. I kind of stole it from Locke, so full credit to him. Again, I will link it. Go ahead and comment and say that you appreciate him doing this. He does a lot for the community, even though a lot of it's behind the scenes. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this little sneak peek at what might be coming inside the game. Fingers crossed that something big in clans will be added in the next update. So guys, thanks again for watching, and as always, take care, guys.